Hi, I'm Greg Hines. I'm the mayor of the city of Rogers. So I grew up here in Rogers. My family moved here in the mid-1950s. My dad went to Westside Elementary School, and I went to Westside Elementary School. So there's a lot of history in our family and education. Most of my grandmother, my aunts, great-grandmothers have been public school educators. So public school was an important part of my family life growing up. My grandmother was an English teacher, so I'm thankful for that because I think I have a fairly good command of the English language as a result of that, and that wasn't my greatest interest in school. But went all through primary education in Rogers Public Schools. Clearly were prepared when leaving RHS in 1994 and going on to the University of Arkansas. So many folks seemed lost and unprepared, but I feel like then, and my dad makes the same statement. He graduated in 1975, and he said he went to the U of A as a freshman, and it was pretty clear that his education in the Rogers Public School system had well prepared him to go to college, and so many other folks were lost. So I think that's only enhanced and improved over the years, and I believe that anybody that's a student in the Rogers Public Schools, in particular at Heritage High School, should feel well prepared and feel like that if you put your best foot forward, you're going to be ready to take on the world when you get out of Heritage High School. You know, as a community, as a region, as a country, we have focused for really the last 20-25 years on four-year college degrees, and that essentially we've kind of let our youth of our community for this last quarter century know that if you don't attain that four-year degree, your value in the community is diminished greatly. I've talked about this for a number of years, and it's now starting to become a part of the forefront of conversation in Northwest Arkansas as a region, as we continue to be one of the fastest growing regions in the country. And that is that we have very few people that can do things anymore. And so to focus on trade, a trade that's in the technical side and or in the construction side, I know a lot of people that make a great living. That became electricians or plumbers. They have a lot more freedom in their life than most of these folks that are badging in at some of our Fortune 100 companies. And they tend to retire earlier, and they tend to live a lot less stressful lives. So, for those students who are maybe struggling just a bit or have had some setbacks in attaining their high school education, and that college seems unattainable or so far off or not even a part of the conversation around their dinner tables, it doesn't have to be. That's not what defines success. What defines success is that you continue to learn. All of us, me today, if I stop learning, I'm irrelevant. It's time for me to move out and do something else. So it's important for students to understand, get your high school degree. You have to do that in order to have any opportunity opened up for you in the future. But whether it's a trade school, a technical school, any path that you choose, you can be successful and you can be passionate and be happy in that type of work, and we desperately need it. And so I would encourage anybody that is looking at what their future holds and that don't necessarily think they're going to be a doctor, lawyer, engineer, or astronaut. That's not what defines success. I also am well known for a certain phrase that I use at just about any opportunity I get to talk to high school students, and particular seniors. And that is that we've invested in you, we've given you opportunities, and most of you are going to move on and do good things and be active members of the community. But regardless of whether you go off to that four-year college degree or you go to a technical institute and learn how to weld, success in life is not defined by what you become in life, but it's who you become in life. So above all, respect your family, friends, and future wife and children and coworkers. Be honest, be ethical, and be an active participant in your community.
Yeah, I'm Tom Smith. I'm one of the 6th circuit judges for Benton County, and part of my duties are to preside over all the juvenile cases. And I know this video is being made mainly to discuss an important topic about why you need to be in school. And when young people come to my court, we really focus on 4 basic things, because that's what we find is missing when kids start getting in trouble. We make young people set goals. We make sure young people are getting their education and not just being in the seat, but not skipping a class, being there every day, making their grades, turning in their assignments, and having good behavior while they're there. And then also finding positive friends and activities, typically some form of activity around school or in school, and then avoiding the negatives, which I call pretty basic: bad friends, drugs, and alcohol. My concern as the judge that deals with the young people is the skipping and the missing school. There's a correlation between getting into court and getting into trouble. When you skip school, lots of times you may think you're not going to do anything wrong, but the next thing you know, one of your friends has marijuana or some drug or alcohol, and then you get pulled over and you're now being arrested on a delinquency. I firmly believe, as a young person, for you to stay focused and meet your goals, education, and making the most out of it has to be a fundamental part of that process, because without it, you lose your incentive. And once you lose your goals, I can tell you to behave, but why would you? Well, parental involvement is key, because one, it's the law. A lot of people don't know this, but you can be fined $500 if you don't have your kids in school. But two, it goes back to those 4 fundamental things we look for. Family relationships and positive family relationships have to be part of the equation for a young person to be successful. In fact, to go along with parental involvement, when you do come to court, in any kind of case, we require the parents to get up to the school either weekly or bi-weekly and make sure the education part is being fixed. Because without parents checking in and leading the way, what's the incentive for a young person to do all that on their own? There's just not.
So as far as community and students making sure they're in school and parents making sure they're in school, the community involvement and what those students do afterwards is the big key here. And that's one reason that we need them in school.
We have to have young people in school we can go on and on about why. But the fact of the matter is, young people are young people. I can tell them, and you can tell them, come to school and do your work. But there has to be some accountability for everybody. The young person, the parents, the schools, the courts. We all need to make sure that we're doing what we can do to give that incentive to be in school. Because good things typically happen at school. Bad things happen typically when you're not at school.
Right. Judge Smith, hey, thank you so much for your time, and we appreciate you doing this with us.
I just encourage all young people to stay focused. I give pretty basic goals, and I know they sound simple, but they're hard to meet. But they're important for you to meet those goals to have the future you need to succeed as an adult.
My name's Hayes Miner. I'm the Chief of Police for the Rogers Police Department. The importance of staying in school is certainly not lost on me. I graduated high school, ended up going to college and graduating college, and I have 3 kids who've all graduated high school. And I think the importance of it really comes into play in my line of work in law enforcement. A person that stays in school is going to have something to do during the day. They're going to be around friends, they're going to be around people that care about them, they're going to have structure in their life, and they're going to just have a support network that once they leave school can very easily disappear if they don't take positive steps to make it happen. And a lot of times when people leave school, they get out in the middle of the day while all their buddies are at school, and they're out doing things and they're not supposed to be doing. They're out at places they shouldn't be, for someone that's their age, and they make decisions based on their environment, which is a lot of times in a negative space when they're out of school. Looking at what we see and the type of kids that we deal with today, probably not a well-known fact unless Judge Smith shared it with you, but in 2017, out of all juvenile arrests in Benton County, 350 some of those 1,000 arrests were from Rogers kids. Okay, and what we see a lot of times in those situations where we're arresting kids is either they're skipping school, or they're out late at night and their parents don't know where they're at. The kids that we very infrequently deal with are the ones whose parents know what's going on. They're there for their kids. They're keeping track of their kids. They're texting them maybe throughout the day or after school when they can't be together, just to let the kids know, hey, we're still here. I still have these expectations of you. You know, where are you at? What are you doing? When are you going to be home? Type thing. So having that structure in your life that's given by your parents, while at times I understand it can be difficult for teenagers and frustrating for teenagers, it's extremely important to help lay a good foundation to make solid decisions later in life and keep you out of trouble.
Right. Well, hey, you pretty much nailed everything on the head right there for us.
I had tried to remember it all.
The biggest thing is that we want to show that the kids that we do care about them, and that being in school is important.
Sure.
But also by law, it's also a parental, it's the parents that have to make sure that this has happened as well.
Yep.
Because when you get on down the road, that the parents are ultimately responsible until they turn 18
Yeah.
for these kids as well in the judicial system. So.
Well, and that's, you know, in our judicial system, you know, we don't just take kids into custody and then turn them over to the juvenile authorities. That doesn't happen in today's world very often. You know, there's a big push to keep juveniles out of the correctional system, you know, to where you don't go to the, you know, traditional juvie hall. Mm-hmm. And we have a juvenile detention center in Benton County, but it's not one that houses a lot of kids, and that's by design, because they think that the best place for a child that age is at home. So when we arrest kids, the first call is to the parents. And the parents have to be there. You know, the parents do have to take responsibility, and basically the parents are signing a form from us, you know, saying that they're going to take care of that kid and make sure that they show up in court. And if they don't, then the parents can also be held liable, and that's not something that, you know, we relish or that we want to see happen, but it is a realistic possibility.
Right. So it sounds to me that you guys are really trying to work with the families instead of just arresting a student, putting them in jail because they've done something that in our eyes is not right or wrong, and you're giving them a chance to let parents be involved.
Sure.
And help take care of their students themselves. So.
Well, strong parental involvement and encouragement to do the right thing does more for a child than any police officer ever could. We often, you know, don't see kids in positive interactions. You know, we're there a lot of times, and, you know, they call us the fun police, right? And kids may be out thinking they're having fun, but they're doing something illegal. Well, we show up and we're going to break up the fun, right? You know, so a lot of our interactions with youth tend to be negative or cast in a negative light, you know, and it could be something as innocuous as a speeding ticket, you know, but still, nobody likes a speeding ticket, right? So it's hard sometimes to form, you know, positive relationships with law enforcement at that young of an age. Now, take the parent. The parent then can step in and be that positive enforcement or positive interaction that's needed for that child to, you know, get the decision-making skills that they need to help them learn what they did wrong and to not do it again.
My name is Jim Davis. I'm the principal here at Heritage High School, and today I'd like to talk to you, our community, about school attendance and why it's important for your children to be at school every single day. In a school year, we have 180 school days that students attend, and it is imperative that students are here every single day that they possibly can because of the instruction that's going to take place in each of their classes. And we know by research, students that have great attendance have great success, and we know if they have great success in high school, they are going to go and be very successful in the future in what they do outside of high school. And that could lead to going to junior college, to the university, to trade school, to the military, or right into the workforce. And so as your principal here at Heritage High School, we believe it is important for you as a parent to support us and to support your children and to get them to school every single day so that we can give them the education that they deserve. And we're excited for this year, and we're here to support you and to give you resources if there's needs that we can assist you because there's barriers related to your attendance every single day. Please communicate with us and our staff because we're here to serve you as a community. As the principal at Heritage High School, we believe that when students are struggling to attend school on a daily basis, it is important that we make up the instructional minutes that they are missing. And so if students are missing and it becomes a pattern of an attendance issue, Saturday school, the purpose of that is for us to educate you as a student and educate our parents why attendance is critical and why it's important. And also we need to make up those instructional minutes that you missed during the week. And part of that process, the Saturday school, is we're working together as a community. We're working together with a number of stakeholders, and we're going to join forces because we want students in school every single day.
Hi, my name is Officer Ochoa with the Rogers Police Department. I've been with the department for 7 years. This is my first year here at Heritage as a school resource officer. Heritage has really reached my expectation in many ways. Everyone here has been so nice and has made me feel welcome. I have enjoyed meeting new faces, and I'm excited to be here, and I'm looking forward to the school year here. To me, attending school is very important for many reasons. I think the more the student attends school, the more they are likely to succeed in class and later in life. A student who doesn't show up for school also makes it difficult for the teacher to build the students' skills and keep up with their progress in class. It also makes it difficult for the teacher to catch them up in class if they are continuing to miss school. It also, in addition to falling behind, students who miss school on a regular basis are more likely to get into trouble with the law and cause problems in the community. I think attending school is important because it teaches the students about the world around us and prepares them with the tools they will need for the future. I also think it is very important that the students get support from his or her parents. Parents who make regular school attendance a priority for their child are also helping them learn to accept responsibility. As a parent, you need to teach your child that being at school is a must unless they are truly sick. Parents need to be involved with their child's academics and ask questions about how school is going for them. Whatever your lifestyle is or family situation, it is never too late to start helping your child develop a positive attitude towards learning. Parents play an important role in helping their child make progress, and making sure they are in school is crucial for them to succeed in class and later in life. Now, what I've said so far, that goes for the parents and for the students. This last here goes just for the students, okay? Missing or skipping school is a bad idea overall, I think. Obviously, when you're sick, don't go to school. Get home and get to feeling better. You don't want to pass the germs around. On days, it might seem nice to sleep in and watch TV all day or roam around town and see who's out and about. But the truth is here, nobody here is losing but yourself. And I say that for these reasons. You learn less, you fall behind, you send a bad message to yourself, you put yourself in bad places, and you delay your dreams and your goals. So just go to school, learn, and have a good time.
Sweet. That's perfect.
Pretty good?